All right, yeah, it looks like they were indeed fucked. Sorry about having the wrong color settings this entire time. So I've fixed it up in that particular respect. You know what? There's just a fucking rant on colors real quick. The fact that I can't use this color profile that I'm currently using to record the rest of this, I can't use this in conjunction with any video that I intend to edit in Sony Vegas is pretty fucking embarrassing. I don't know if I'm missing some sort of plugin that can allow the Vegas to read correct colors, but it's pretty annoying that this is the case that we, state that we are in. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that fixes it. I tried setting it to full instead of partial for the color profile, but that made it too dark. So only by setting it to I444 did we get the fix. So whatever. Moving on.
Is anyone still alive?
Sound off! And if you're wounded, crawl your ass over here.
These fucking Zerg don't know when to fucking quit.
We're probably the only survivors, but that doesn't mean you get to check out. Form up! We're close to the source of the distress signal, so let's get moving before the Zerg come to admire their work.
This ghost had better be worth all this.
I like how I'm still tired. Tired Marine. Oh yes, get used to the pause in the middle of objectives. Determine the fate of Francisco Gasca. At least one unit of each type must survive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just because of the cutscene. So this is a micro section, and we started with +1 and Stimpack. So you know,
Need medical attention?
pretty dumb.
State
Naturally.
the nature of your medical emergency.
Let's burn.
Get to see some of the corpses again, very blurry. I don't know what the fuck that guy's like sticking out of the ground or something. No idea what's going on there.
Where does it hurt?
Turn up the heat.
And yeah, we didn't have custom ramps in, so
Who's your daddy now?
Do I even need to tell you to shut up after that one?
No, ma'am.
State the nature of your
pretty
medical
epic,
emergency.
pretty hilarious LOL dialogue. Not really gonna comment on that one, honestly.
On my way.
It was somewhat awkward.
Did someone page
You know what this reminds me of?
Did someone
Is people
page me?
making an effort, but well, there was no effort made over there. Making an effort on some of these art assets or whatever, but not really like just the skills weren't up to the task.
Did
Right?
someone page me?
At least I tried. I can say that
Got my attention.
in some of these areas. But then you get situations like this. It's just a cutscene. I gotta watch this guy talk.
Holy shit, it's him.
Finally. Hey, identify yourself.
Oh no.
At ease, soldier. You already know who I am.
Man, I told you he had mind powers.
Quite. Specialist Francisco Gasca, at your service. I'm pleased to see such friendly faces here.
Friendly faces? In case you haven't noticed, we lost a lot of good men coming to save your sorry ass. So you better clue us in on what the hell is going on. Stat!
Very well. I am in possession of comprehensive research conducted by the Confederacy. It contains everything you need to know to end this invasion for good. I was on my way to deliver it to your commander when my ship met the same fate as yours. Once I have delivered this information to Raynor in person, your Zerg problem will be put to rest permanently.
How do we know you're telling the truth?
If you doubt my intentions, you need only ask yourself why the Zerg diverted so many of their creatures here after I arrived. They don't want this information getting into their enemies' hands.
I'm still not sure I trust you, Specialist.
I have had it up to here with these goddamn Zerg. Lead the way, sir. We got your back.
Not like we have a better option.
Excellent. We had better get moving.
Reach the Northern Raiders outpost. Gaska must survive.
Your commands.
Kind of boring dialogue, TBH. Also, check out
Understood.
the little bits of.
Yes.
All right, you like that? Hold on. See if I
Going.
can get it. You like the little floating bit black pixels? That's
Reporting.
PyGRP. That's that broken ass modding tool.
Did someone page me?
Fired
Reporting. Ready. Yes.
Also, yeah, he's got tooltips. Gaska is an ex-Confederate ghost and appears to slowly regenerate life over time, perhaps due to his equipment. Wow! I couldn't have made it more obvious. His attacks have a chance to stun their target for a short time. And then, Gaska fires a stun grenade from his rifle. When the grenade explodes, it freezes enemy units and structures in a small radius. Borrowed units from
Moving.
Should say borrowed units. Oh, yeah.
Going.
Dude, I was so fucking overboard about this shit. Okay,
I'm here.
this tooltip changes in future missions to say borrowed units and bunkers, or units in bunkers are immune. And I didn't want to have the units in bunkers part there in case people were still assuming that this guy was a good guy and wasn't super suspicious about shit. Like, basically, if I include the note about units in bunkers, it's like, oh, either we're fighting hostile Terrans in the future, or this guy betrays Terrans in the future. And either one would be a spoiler, so I didn't put it in the tooltip. I mean, maybe that's fine, but just I think it's like, I was worried about the wrong fucking set of things, you know what I mean? Like, I was so focused on that instead of, you know,
Understood.
just
Yes.
having actual gameplay and focusing on a little bit less on that shit.
Eliminate that structure before the Zerg gain any more ground.
Just call me Arnold, boss.
Hey, check this out.
I'm not interested in your name, Private.
Not much of a movie goer, are you?
I'm here. Understood.
Well, I couldn't demonstrate it, but disabled Nidus canals still spawn the units in because it's just a trigger.
Understood.
Also, this Overlord doesn't give a fuck.
Your commands.
And yes, the random chance to stun targets, that's pretty haha,
Yes.
pretty hoo-hoo, pretty hee-hee.
Moving. Going.
I also don't really know why I decided to make him use the... Oh boy.
Oh, shit! Stand your ground. I can stun them for a short time.
This is basically me, like,
Understood.
yelling at the player to use the ability,
Yes.
but you don't really have to,
Understood.
obviously. Like, you can be super lazy in this sequence and still win, so really the only saving grace of it is that you get to learn about Gaska and, like, how to use him in a gameplay sense.
Understood.
But even then, it's like, well, you're still fighting against enemies that are, like, not even actually playing the game, right? Like,
Moving. Going.
the Nidus canals being completely different than normal. These enemies just sitting here doing nothing.
Ready. Understood.
And then you've got the fucking...
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is the classic. The units don't get their patrol position updated, so they just spin. Like, so much of this stuff is really embarrassing.
Yes.
And it's not playing the game, so I don't really know what I was... Like, the pathfinding in this area is so horrible, too. I don't know really what I was expecting, exactly, but...
Your commands. Moving.
Shit! We got a colony at 12 o'clock.
My stun grenade will make short work.
That shit works on buildings too? Nice.
Oh, no.
Works on anything and everything. Now get ready to fire.
Just embarrassing.
Yes.
Again, I'm just, like, basically yelling at the player. But there's so much more elegant ways to tutorialize this. I came up with an idea
Understood.
where the opening cutscene of the first map in the remake was going to have some Terran units get, like,
Understood.
they were stuck or like surrounded by units or whatever, and then they just get fucking stunned. The Zerg units just get stunned by Gaska's grenade. So you actually see him cast it in a cutscene or whatever, using idle orders, or issue order, rather. Like, that was an example of something that I wanted to do that I thought made sense. But even still, it's still like, you shouldn't... Heroes don't really belong, you know what I mean? So,
Understood.
that's my 2 cents there.
That should be the last of them. I'm picking up the signal of a crashed dropship at the base of this cliff. Investigate it while I make sure the area is clear.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
5 by 5, sir.
Medics are healing the units because I set it to 1 HP and the trigger. How embarrassing. And of course they have no reaction. They're supposed to die on like 1 hit or whatever, but...
Gaska!
Strolium. I didn't think you were still alive.
You lead these Terrans. You destroy our swarms. Why?
Calm yourself, Magnate. Tuzor told me you were dead. I believe these Zerg to be feral, even when I sensed you, faintly. Were you in hiding?
We remain beneath the surface. We wait for Terrans to leave. But they do not leave. They stay. Why?
The Raiders have been on high alert ever since you landed here. Gorn has been probing the Protoss for weakness, but these Terrans seem more competent than we gave them credit for. I was trying to meet with their leader. Without any witnesses to vouch for me, we need a new plan.
No plan. We destroy Terrans and Protoss and claim this province for our swarms. You help.
If I help you, they'll know my allegiance with absolute certainty. But if I warn them of your plans, well, then they'll have a reason to trust me.
You help them? You help our enemies?
It is part of a bigger picture, Magnate. And besides, I have the utmost confidence in your abilities. I will make contact when I can and feed you information. But you will not have the element of surprise.
We do not like bigger picture. Go! We will prepare.
Dude, I just realized, for those of you who have been following the mod streams lately, Strolium should be the pitchfork centaur from Final Odyssey. That's I can't say that in the stream. Sorry for making you think about that. If you know what that is, if you know, you know. All right, now we got to destroy the Raiders outpost, both Protoss forts. Strolium will survive. I'm pretty sure it's possible to speedrun this. I guess I'll save anyway, just in case something goes horribly wrong. I guess I should pause and talk about the dialogue. So, again, overstaying its welcome. Each cutscene longer than the last, it feels like. Very, very fucking boring, TBH. I understand, like, okay. If you had to imagine a remake of this level, and it was just, start at this point where you're playing macro, and from there, like, Gaska is infiltrating enemy lines or something, then you establish a relationship between the two of them. You even make the first mission kind of on the easier side because Gaska can provide you with information. Like, there's a lot of advantages to that system, and you completely forget about the stupid cutscenes that get you to this point and the stupid microsection that got you to this point. I also was planning on showing off Strolium's borrow charge in the remake, where the opening cutscene could have just been what we just saw with the units dying to lurkers, except they would be dying to Strolium, and Gaska would have to like hold his fire because of it's fucking Strolium, obviously. So, oh wait, yeah, just lurker. What is it? What L? Yeah, how about you hold that one, buddy? Upgrades are gross. So I can do this, and then I can get...
We have no
Vespine.
Wow, you don't say, huh?
We search for a geyser soon.
So, the main thing about this mission is that you're very resource starved, and this is kind of a something to keep in mind throughout all of this campaign is that you're generally pretty resource
All right,
starved.
boys and girls, let's 86 these Zerg. Pronto.
I hit R instead of U.
Terrorists attack us.
It's pretty dumb.
We use lurkers to defend the hive.
Jesus Christ. Why is my dialogue so annoying?
Ready, Master. Master.
Sir, get the tank ready.
We use Dark Swarm.
I guess I don't need to worry about that guy. Again, like explaining basic mechanics like Dark Swarm seems pretty unnecessary. Well, it is pretty unnecessary, TBH. But yeah, just the Terrans now. So the Terrans are separated into two different groups.
We lay waste to this base. We attack from many angles.
Their only hope is Ahmed, and Ahmed has forsaken them. Oh yeah, I can. Get him, Ahmed. Okay, you suck. And to think Veeq almost died to this mission. What a noob. There are some Protoss here as well, as you can see. But they suck. Oh, see ya. They'll attack my sunken recently. I like how this AI is not at all interested in defending this place. Pretty funny. Should be able to just walk up here and execute their barracks. Of course they have this entire base pre-placed. And of course they have all of these resources compared to what we have, right? We can't get queens. I don't remember if we can even get a lair. No, we can't. That's embarrassing. So you can't even get tier 2 upgrades. I think he got distracted or something. I don't know what was going on there. Oh yeah, there's another... Well, we still haven't killed this barracks, I guess. I'm not even sure if they have shared vision. There you go. You nerd. My base now, motherfucker. Slurp. Also, notably, I have been floating all these minerals. Clearly, you do not need a lot of skill to beat this mission. You just need to know the solution to the puzzle. And Veeq didn't, because he sucked. Happy birthday, idiot. Drones over here. A little early, I guess, but hi.
Ready. We go.
It's fucking destroyed. Dude, they really do not care at all. Wait, did I just kill that without... maybe there was a unit that spawned there or something. I don't know. Hard to say. But yeah, we basically killed the Terrans. We just need to kill their barracks. Hi. How does this happen? I mean, to some extent, this is Blizzard's fault for having shit AI, but, you know. Is there a fire bat in here by any chance? Guess not. And, yeah, once you kill this AI, there's literally nothing standing in your way because the Protoss attack with a couple of units at a time, basically. And as you can see, they're not particularly interested in attacking... Oh yeah, I spoke over dialogue, sorry. They're not particularly interested in
We go.
stopping you from, or like attacking your main or anything, so I guess I should drop a couple sunkens over here. Don't do that. Goofball. Goofball. Please watch DF's Adventures of the Dadded Orphan special bus video. Please clap. Hi. Hi. Remind me. Why did the photon cannon not attack? That's a vanilla bug, I'm pretty sure, though. So,
We destroy this structure now.
I walked over into an area and I got a map revealer. Oh yeah, I had to map revealer this ramp over here because a lot of people didn't see it as a ramp. So I map revealered it so that people would know. They thought I was even worse at map design than I actually was. Couldn't have that. Hello? Would you like to come here? Rude. Just kill us, baby. If I have to hit the U key to burrow. What kind of sick fucking place is this?
What the hell? Goska said this place was safe.
Who gives a shit what he said? Shoot the damn Zerg!
Thank God. I would have really hated if I lost right there.
Master. Yes.
Okay, don't mind me. Oh, he's going to recharge his shields. What an idiot. Oh,
Master. We go.
Oh man, why? Why are they so stupid? Hello? Oh shit, this. Guys, what do I do? The photon cannon actually attacked my unit. I don't know what to do anymore. Hey! Get out of here. They don't have any observers, so... Wow. You guys suck at aiming. They have one scout in the entire map, and it's over here, of course. Go ahead and send those units down there to clear out any...
We move.
Dragoons or whatever. Doesn't look like there are any. Should just be able to,
Ready. We move.
Pretty boring map. Nothing going on. Easy as fuck, but it's a grind.
Command.
And,
Master.
swing these units.
Yes.
Get some health back. As you can see, Strontium is the Magnate, a hyper-evolved strain of Zerg. It attacks ground units in melee range and attacks air units with its potent venom. It can use Consume to restore health and energy. DF is responsible for the icon art, by the way. We don't actually have to attack up. We just have to kill this on the top right. Should be able to do that relatively easily now that we have money. You're a more overlord. Fucker. I'm attacking it like an AI would. You feel me? Hey. TBH, Strontium can just burrow over here. He's sad enough. What the fuck? Dude, I hate the existence of upgrades. They're so gay. Get him out.
Careful, Maggie.
Protoss Archon lies within that shrine.
The Protoss must fall. We slay them now.
Dude, can you believe how many map revealers I made in this map? Should you carapace? I think the Protoss do upgrade over time, so they've got like a forge somewhere. Top right, I think. They're probably already at. They upgrade shields before armor, apparently.
We lay waste to Protoss structures.
Okay, bye.
Our swarms march.
I played around with the idea of having
Master.
L, by the way. Jesus Christ. I played around with the idea of having stuff like probes rebuilding the bases and stuff, but in the end I decided it was a bit much. Because, of course, the AI doesn't actually have to work for any of its stuff, so... Executed as expected. I don't need a body block there. What is going on in my existence? So yeah, we basically have one now. I just need to kill the last thing over here. You can see the well, you can't see it right now, but there was a work animation a little bit ago. How do you even see up there, dude? Fucking cheaters. It was the one that I did instead of the good one DF made. Did I win? Oh, I think I have to kill the Archon. Forgot about that epic fucking
The Zerg
mechanic.
seek to desecrate our shrine.
I think I have to anyway.
We shall cleanse this blight from iron. Templar, to arms.
3 arms.
Our swarm.
Oh wait, no.
Prove
Wait, what?
Zerg.
I guess maybe it was just lagging or something. I don't know.
Excellent. The Protoss are no longer a threat.
I don't know why.
We know this from the start.
Magnate, with Elar under our control,
Hey, get back
it is now safe to contact Tuzor. Our Cerebrit will be pleased to know that you still live.
Our swarms bolster their ranks. We contact Master.
Oh wait, I know what happened. The condition is not that you kill an Archon, but that you make the Archon that brings 0 Archon to this area. I think. And so when he says our swarms prove Zerg superior, that was actually him thinking that the Archon died because he fucking followed my units out. Wow, that's some next level shit. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that map? You know, hit me up in the comments below. Dude, I was initially thinking that I probably would have to, I was jokingly thinking to myself, oh man, we're going to have to make like 1 video at a time because of how long it's going to take me to look at all this stuff. Well, that appears to be the case for this level anyway, but that's, you know, it's a special case. I think next video should be 2 missions at a minimum. So this is the cutscene area. You can see like all of those red dots. That's artifacting from PyGRP. Same deal for Goska, who is created in a trigger over there. We didn't have the AI town locations back in the day, but I'm sure I would have laughed my ass off had I looked at any of that. Oh yeah, this is the gas you were supposed to get. Supposed to, you know, developer intended gas. The Nexus is not actually there in reality. I did it because I wasn't sure if, at the time, if AI would function without a town hall, and I had mixed results without the Nexus there. So I added the Nexus there and then I removed it. Shortly after the script gets executed, here's the forge that was being talked about. Singularity Charge gets developed here. Citadel of Adun gets leg enhancements eventually. So they do, to my credit, scale up over time instead of just starting out with upgrades. But it's still pretty stupid that they don't have to actually mine resources. And I think they just end up being way more cost efficient than your tier 1 units that you can't get past tier 2, you know what I mean? Also, the reason there's no hatchery here by default is because the creep was in vision of this fucking cutscene area. And so I had to create it with a trigger after the cutscene was done, basically. Like, didn't really notice it in that moment, but that had to be done later on, basically. I don't know. I think there's way too much of an emphasis on cutscenes and story in this map, and I should have tried to, really only boil it down to what was absolutely necessary for understanding the story and setting up future elements and setting up the characters. And at that point, turn that into a briefing or maybe a very short introductory cutscene, right? And then start you off with macro. The whole micro thing is such a waste of time and doesn't really do much, you know what I mean? It's not particularly thematic. It's not particularly interesting. You got this fucking weird bridge going on over here. I guess that's fine. You got all this shitty terrain that I should have done custom versions of that I eventually would go on to do. I mean, I also went on to like update a lot of these assets since then, and they do look much better now than what they used to, but odds of them getting into an actual released product are pretty slim, I think. I think I could probably commit to remaking just the first mission. I was talking earlier about remaking the briefing. I could potentially do that just because it's like super obvious ways that could be improved, and it would be nice to actually deliver upon it, but I don't think it would be reasonable to try to do the rest of it because of how many changes would have to make to the engine in order for it to work out. One sec. All right, so yeah, ultimately I just feel like the story and gameplay could be unified a lot better, and we really didn't see that here. I think anytime you have tech tree restrictions, especially to this scale, you really misstepped. You really overstepped your bounds trying to force a certain style or whatever. There was some dialogue over here that played where they talk about Goska said this place was safe. I actually think it almost sounds more subversive in that context when you hear it that way, but the method you're supposed to hear it is you go to this location, backdoor comment. You go here, and that's when you see, that's when you hear Goska say, if you make your attack quick, they won't expect it or something. It's completely fallacious, though, because they don't actually tighten up their defenses over here after that happens, or shortly after that happens, or if you attack and it fails. It's not like they tighten up their defenses any more than an AI normally would by sending some straggler defenders over there. And this AI wasn't particularly defensive, as we saw when we attacked it. So there's a lot of problems with this setup. The fact that there's so much of the map owned by the enemy at the beginning, and the fact that they're not under attack by anybody else. Like, you can have some amount of pre-placed shit on a map if there's some balance. Like, if the Protoss were also attacking the Terrans, then it kind of didn't matter that either of them had pre-placed shit if you're able to sort of creep up with very minimal pre-placed shit of your own and eventually pose a threat to them while they're focused on each other. That could be somewhat emergent. That could be interesting. It's like another free-for-all dynamic, but you don't get that here because they're on the same team, which I guess is understandable given the circumstances, but it's not understandable that they would have so many units and that they don't just run you over. There's so many pre-placed units all over this map. And while there's a couple of cases where they'll reinforce, like in the micro section, or some of these Protoss groups actually move down over here if you enter certain radiuses or radii, that's something that's interesting enough, I guess, for very, very basic emergence. But if they actually staffed those areas dynamically over time, organically rather over time, that would make a lot more sense and would also be unifying the storytelling and gameplay aspects of this project in a way that I just had not done previously. So I'll cut it there because I do have to use the bathroom, but that is essentially it. That is Inconsummate, the first map, as well as a bit of an overview on the project overall. I hope it was a good birthday present for Veeq, whose reminder, he sucked on this map. He can't play puzzles. Bully him. Couldn't figure out how to use the borrow hotkey. I mean, admittedly, it took me some time too, because it's you. But who would have guessed the secret to killing Veeq in a puzzle map? The U key. Bye.